Just on that topic, Manish, you've been investing for 15 plus years at this point. What do you feel is firmly in your circle of competence?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say that I'm not very good at industries with rapid change. So I think in general I would stay away from those because I just don't think I'm really good at kind of figuring out where those are headed and so on and so forth. I did make an investment in Google, but I think that that's a little bit different in the sense that just the way that company is configured and the pricing was pretty good and such. So, and it was a small investment, so that's hopefully will work out. Uh, but I would say that it's the main thing I look for are no brainers. I feel that the best investments, the ones that are squarely in circle of competence, are ones that are really really simple to explain to someone in 3 or 4 sentences. I mean, let's say the WL Ross investment. Now, WL Ross may go outside circle of competence once he invests the money. That's when the work would start. That's actually when we'd have to evaluate whether we are in or outside the circle, and figure out whether we want to stay in or stay out of that game. Um, but I would say that at the time the investment was made, it's a very simple uh, sort of economics of making that. So I think I understand commodities quite well in terms of commodity producers being in the lowest quartile. I think I've learned to gain a better understanding, though I'm still not there, on the power of brands and the power of intangible assets. So I'm getting there. I'm not fully there yet, but there's still hope for me. One time I was having dinner at Charlie Munger's place, and the good news after the lunch was that he saw fit to invite me to dinner. And we weren't even at his club; we were at his house. So I felt like I'd died and gone to heaven. And so I'm sitting with Charlie in his study with a big portrait of Samuel Johnson on the wall. And as we were about to go to the dining room to start dinner, he just makes a casual comment and he says that a good investment operation needs to focus on just three things: uh, the cannibals, the cloners, and the spin-offs. And then he just walks off, taking his seat. So I said, wait, Charlie, wait, what did you just say? So I said, what do you mean by the cannibals? He said, oh, the companies that are eating themselves, the ones that are buying back stock, and of course the cloners. I'm all about the cloners. He said, buy ideas that other people have invested in. So I was very happy that the shameless cloner got an endorsement from Moses himself on his cloning techniques. So that was great. And of course the spin-offs. We've got Greenblatt's book. You can be a stock market genius too, which is all about spin-offs, and so that gives you all the reasons why spin-offs make sense. And if you look at Berkshire's permanent holdings, uh, all the permanent holdings are cannibals. Um, you know, American Express, Coca-Cola, IBM. I don't know if IBM's permanent, but it's large. Wells Fargo. Um, they all aggressively buying back stock, and they've been aggressively buying back stock for decades. And I didn't appreciate uh, how powerful cannibals are. So just like brands, I think that and we are one of the things I have is I have this thing which I started a holding company last year called Dhando Holdings, and one of the things we're working on launching an ETF, uh, hopefully next year, and uh, and that ETF uh, focuses on these three areas. It is an ETF which will do cannibals, cloning, and spin-offs. And I spent about 6 months doing all kinds of back tests with a very talented crew on this, and I've spent more time than I would like to admit on cannibals. And it's incredible what kind of performance and what kind of outperformance you get versus the indices with the cannibals. So the learning continues. I would say that I'm always looking for no-brainers. I'm looking for undervalued businesses. I'm looking for simple businesses. I'm looking for things that are easy. I mean, like we made an investment. We still own the investment about 3.5 years ago in Fiat Chrysler, and at the time we made the investment, Fiat Chrysler had a market cap under 5 billion, and I just found it incredible that a company doing over 100 billion in revenue had a market cap of under 5 billion, and they just spun out Ferrari, and Ferrari has a market cap of 10 billion, and Fiat sells 5 million cars and Ferrari sells 7,000 cars. So they took a very small sliver of the business and spun it out. And the small sliver of the business being spun out is at 2x the valuation that we had, that the market had priced the business at 3.5 years ago. And the rest of the business is still there. So, you know, if you were to ask me if autos are within my competence, I would have told you before 2012 that, yeah, maybe I understand them, but it's such an ugly business, I'll never invest in it. And here I am, deeply pregnant with the auto business. So I think stay flexible, keep it simple, go for no brainers, keep reading. Don't focus too much on expanding the circle; it'll expand on its own by osmosis, and that's it.